In Formula 1, we only see a reserve driver take to the starting grid of a Grand Prix in extreme circumstances, with 2020 being the only real season the reserve drivers have been needed on a regular basis in recent memory. But who were the reserve drivers in the 2015 season, and what are they doing now? Mercedes Pascal Wehrlein. After climbing up the single-seater ranks and having a strong 2014 season in the DTM Championship, Wehrlein was given the opportunity to be the reserve driver of the World Champions. He took part in pre-season testing for both Mercedes and Force India, who didn't officially have a reserve driver for 2015. He never got an opportunity to race the W06, but he did find himself in the Formula 1 grid for the following season. He won the DTM Championship in 2015, and this helped him secure a move to Manor Racing, where he would partner Rio Haryanto and Esteban Ocon. He finished 19th in the standings, scoring a single point, but will remain in the sport for the 2017 season. He moved to Sauber, where his 5 points would secure 18th in the championship, but not enough to give him a seat for the following season, when he was replaced by Charles Leclerc. He did have to miss the opening 2 races of the 2017 season, however, after injuring himself in the Race of Champions. He returned to the DTM Championship in 2018, where he finished in 8th place before leaving the championship. In January 2019, he was announced as a Ferrari development driver, while also making his Formula E debut for Mahindra Racing. He remained with the team until he was announced as a Porsche driver for the upcoming 2020-21 season, replacing Neil Jani. Red Bull, Sebastian Buemi. After being announced as a Red Bull test driver back in 2008, Buemi had a spell in Formula 1 between 2009 and 2011 with Scuderia Toro Rosso before being dropped in favour of Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz. He remained contracted to Red Bull as their test and reserve driver since then, while taking part in the World Endurance Championship and Formula E. In 2014, he joined the new Formula E Championship with Renault Edams, finishing second before winning the title in the second season. He has remained with the Edams team ever since, including when they rebranded as Nissan for the 2018-19 season. He has gone on to win the World Endurance Championship twice, and most recently became a 24 Hours of Le Mans champion after winning its 88th running in 2020. He will drive for Red Bull Racing in the 2020 post-season Young Drivers Test in Abu Dhabi, sharing a car with Yuri Vips. Williams, Adrian Sutil. After starting his Formula 1 career as a test driver for Midland F1 Racing back in 2006, the role of reserve driver for Williams Racing would be the final role he had with a Formula 1 team in his career. In 2007, he raced for Spiker, before they rebranded as Force India in 2008. He remained with the team until the end of the 2011 season, where he was replaced by Nico Hülkenberg. He returned to the team after a year out in 2013 to replace the Sauber-bound Hülkenberg, and then he was swapped seats with Hülkenberg for the 2014 season, with Sutil going to Sauber and Hülkenberg back to Force India. This brought to an end his racing career, with Sutil taking part in no other competitions after his time in Formula 1 had ended. Ferrari, Esteban Gutierrez. After being announced as a test driver for Sauber back in 2011, 2015 would be the year that Gutierrez took a step back from Grand Prix racing after having 2 seasons with Sauber as their full-time driver. He spent the 2015 season as a Ferrari test and reserve driver before getting a Grand Prix seat with the newly formed Haas F1 team for the 2016 season. After leaving Haas at the end of the season, Gutierrez would have a brief stint at Formula E with Techeetah, taking part in 3 races, as well as taking part in 7 races in IndyCar for Dale Coyne Racing. In 2018, he was named as the Mercedes test driver and does most of the exhibition driving for the team, such as doing laps around Silverstone before the British Grand Prix or taking part in the Goodwood Festival of Speed. McLaren, Kevin Magnussen. After being dropped by McLaren going into the 2015 season, Magnussen was called up to replace injured Fernando Alonso for the opening race of the season in Australia. He didn't have a seat for the rest of the 2015 season, but found a seat at Renault for the 2016 season, partnering Julian Palmer. He would then move to Haas for the 2017 season, replacing Gutierrez, and would remain with the team alongside Romain Grosjean until they both were announced to be leaving the team at the end of the 2020 season. For 2021, Magnussen has announced they will be racing in the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship for Chip Ganassi Racing. Lotus, Julian Palmer. After spending the 2014 season as a test driver for Force India, Palmer would make the switch to Lotus to be their test and reserve driver for the 2015 season. He would make the step up to full-time race seat for the 2016 season with Renault, where he would partner Kevin Magnussen. He was then able to retain the seat for the 2017 season. He was dropped from round 17 of the 2017 season, being replaced by Carlos Sainz, and has since gone on to be an expert on the BBC Radio 5 Live's coverage of Formula 1. Sauber, Raffaele Marciello. A name that you might not be too familiar with, Marciello is better known for his success in GT racing. He was given a single-seater role with Sauber for the 2015 season after having 2 decent seasons in GP2. For the 2016 season, he would remain in GP2, finishing 4th in the standings for Russian time before making a switch to GT racing. His first title win would come in 2018 as he won the Blanchman GT Series Sprint Cup and finished runner-up in the Endurance Cup. 2 third-place finishes would follow in the 2018 Blanchman GT Series Asia and Intercontinental GT Championship, as well as picking up another 3rd place a year later in the Blanchman GT Series World Challenge Europe. He would win the 2019 FIA GT World Cup and finish 3rd in the GT World Challenge Europe Sprint Cup. He is currently competing in the Intercontinental GT Cup with 2 races of the season gone so far. Manor Racing, Fabio Lemieux. Another name that you might not be overly familiar with, Lemieux is an example of a GP2 champion not able to find a seat in the Formula 1 grid. After winning the 2013 GP2 Championship, Lemieux was announced as a test and reserve driver for Manor Racing, with this being his only involvement with a Formula 1 team in his career. For 2014, he left the team and took part in the Ferrari Challenge Europe for 2 seasons, finishing 5th in his first season and 6th in the following season. He did end his racing career on a good note, winning the season finale of the Ferrari Challenge Europe for 2017. So that's going to bring this video to an end. Let me know in the comment section below who your favourite reserve driver from the 2015 season was and which year you would like me to cover next. Thank you all so much for watching and hope to see you all in the next one. Goodbye.